Here's another. I've been winning $200 every day just for playing bingo on my phone. It's called Bingo Clash. It's free to play and you compete in these tournaments online with other people to try and win real cash. It's a safe and secure withdrawal process via PayPal. All you do is just play free bingo games and try and win cash. I play every day and it's so fun. You have to download it. I've been winning
Bingo Clash, the brand new game that is sweeping all of social media, talking about how you can win $200 a day simply playing bingo. And so in this video, I'm going to reveal my results after trying to play it for an hour. In reality, I only got about 30 minutes of it. I was only able to play it for about 30 minutes, and I'm going to reveal my results. In fact, I'm going to play it right next to me, probably over here, so that you can see that I actually played it. I went through the entire paces. I signed up. I might have to block out some simple basic information, but it's one of these games, much like Solitaire Clash that I did a video on a few years ago at this point, that claims that you can make money just playing games. And it lures people in with the hope and the promise that you can do absolutely nothing and make $200 per day. If you make $200 per day, that is a pretty good amount of money. Essentially, you'd be making as much as a doctor, if not more, just by playing solitaire or, in this case, bingo. It's a game that everybody knows how to play. You know, there's a song about it. And so I wanted to test that theory. It's really simple to sign up. It's really simple. It's just like bingo in real life, where there are little balls that come out on the top right of the screen. And then for example, if you have B9, you simply press B9 and you can potentially make money. It's a time thing. And then if you press bingo down at the bottom, it actually connects and you get points, and those points can turn into potential money. Now, if you've never seen my video about Solitaire Clash, I'll actually link that in the description about how that worked. But it's a similar process. A lot of these games work the same. They want you to enter for a chance to win an X amount of money. For example, let's say there's an entry fee of $2, but you could win $10. There's a pool, is the way that they phrase it. But the pool doesn't mean that you're going to get the entire $10. You are going to get a piece of that money. You might get 30% or 40% of the $10, and the $10 is split between 3 people. So you might get first place might get 40%. Second place might get 20%. Third place might get 10%. And obviously the app developer gets the rest. With these platforms, a very, very big red flag early on is they want you to deposit money. They give you a few credits up front for you to start playing and get hooked on the game because it's fast paced. It makes you feel like you're winning. It's very much like a slot machine at the local casino. You know, a lot of the flashes, the beeps and the boops makes it exciting and gets your adrenaline pumping. But what you'll notice really quickly is that you've got to put in money or find different ways to earn coins so that you can keep playing. They don't give you enough money in the very beginning to sustain yourself. What you'll find out really quickly is they'll give you like, I don't know, $1, for example. However, the entry fees for most of the games are more than $1. They're going to be $2, $5, $10, whatever it might be. And in order for you to keep playing longer than 30 minutes, you've got to invest some money. You've got to turn in some of your own money. If you do the math, and there's a number of red flags that come with this bingo game. And in general, this might feel like it's all over the place, but in general, if it's easy money, usually you're not going to make a lot of money. You're not going to probably make any money. Or the time that it takes you to make decent money is not worth it, and you could essentially be doing literally anything else, including working at a gas station. I know the argument will be, well, I usually will do games like this in my free time. I'll do it while little Johnny's in soccer practice. But in my experience, in my opinion, that time is much more valuable doing other things like creating content. As someone that has coached youth sports and continues to coach youth sports, I see a lot of parents scrolling and, kind of doom scrolling on social media. Our practices are for an hour, for example. That time could be better spent, and I'll get into how much I made at the end of this video. And I'll also talk about better ways to spend money or spend your time. I'll go into more detail about what you can do and what you should do. But, if you're a parent and you're just kind of doom scrolling, instead of doom scrolling, take that time out to create 7 videos, because you could essentially create between 7 and 10 videos in 1 hour, or respond to people. Anyway, I'll cover that more later. Anyway, getting back to it, what you'll quickly realize is this game lacks substance. This game doesn't really help you make any money. And at the end of the day, these games aren't designed to help you make any money. These games are designed to put money into their pockets, in the pockets of their app developers. But you'll find that you're spending a lot of time, energy, and effort and money in order to make money back. The other thing that I tried to do is I tried to see what the minimum amount of payout would be. You've got to connect your PayPal account in order to do that. And it wouldn't tell me. So I don't know if the minimum payout is $5 or $10 or $50. And in order to achieve that, you're going to have to gamble a bunch of money. Essentially, you're gambling online. I know they're calling it a game, they're calling it whatever they want, but you're basically gambling. This is no different than a slot machine. The other issue that concerns me with this type of game and games like it is the chances that you actually playing against a real player or real players is pretty low. You're probably going against AI, you're probably going against some bots that are out there, and they're not designed to help you win, right? And the other thing that I notice is the more money that you spend up front, the more difficult the game will be for you to actually make money. And so in my experience, and again, you'll see it over here somewhere, or maybe over here, I don't know, I haven't decided yet. But what you'll see is you'll see me playing the game, and you'll see that the game, once it goes from like coins or tokens to actual money, that the game becomes much more difficult. Now, I didn't spend a bunch of time reading the directions and all of that stuff, because who does that, quite honestly? But in my experience with these types of games, and I've played a bunch of them, because there are these claims on social media, there are ads out there that claim that you can make $200. The question will be, how much money do you have to invest? How much money are you putting in order to make $200 out? And then the other question is, how much time are you investing? How much time are you putting in to make $200 out? And it's a very simple equation. Whatever amount of time that you're putting in versus the time that you're getting out is your value per hour. And I mentioned a little bit earlier, if you, for example, at my local gas station, they pay $17 per hour starting. If you aren't making at least $17 per hour playing games like this, then it's not really worth your time. You could literally go work at the gas station and make more. Now, I know that the gas station, what gas stations pay vary across the places across the world, but in my experience, it's not really valuable. So what I did, obviously I signed up, I watched these ads claiming that we can make a bunch of money, went through the process, and then you run into a brick wall where they want you to either download other apps, they want you to share this app with 5 friends, they want you to connect your PayPal account, anything to keep you playing. They're going to feed you enough credits, enough coins to keep you coming back and to keep you hooked, in hopes that eventually that you spend some money, that you connect your PayPal account, and then you add $50 to keep the good times rolling, right? That's how these apps work. In the very beginning, they make it feel real easy. They make you feel like you're going to achieve all of these levels, you're going to earn all of this money, you're going to make all this money. But as time goes on, and as you start spending more money, you start losing money, right? Casinos aren't made of gold because they give away money. And so this app and apps like it are absolutely not worth your time. There are probably 50 other things that you could be doing with the limited time that you have that are more valuable. And what I try and stress upon people is that time is our most valuable asset. And if you can create systems, if you can create content that actually works for you while you are doing other things, that is the best use of your time. Let me give you an example. Right now, I have probably 2,000 videos up on my YouTube channel. I have, maybe 1,000 videos on my TikTok channel. All of that content is working for me right now. And by the time you see this video, and unless you're watching this live, I'm doing something else. I'm maybe coaching my son's flag football. I am maybe playing video games myself, or I'm watching football, or I'm eating, or probably even taking a nap. All of that, all of the mini-me's, I call them the mini-me's, are out working for me, building connections, talking to people, sharing my story, sharing my knowledge, sharing my skills, and help to make me money while I'm doing something else. When you play games like Bingo Clash, you are doing what's called active income, and you're making very little of it, but you are actively working for the potential to make money. It's not even the best type of active income. The best type of active income is working at a job that you know will pay you when you put in work. With a game like Bingo Clash, you are working, and there's no guarantee that you're going to make any money. You are making these other platforms rich by depositing money and then losing it, or watching the ads that are rolling throughout these to keep the good times rolling. So what I want to stress upon you is, instead of wasting your time with a game like Bingo Clash, because it is absolutely a waste of time that provides no value for you in the long term, do this instead. Identify your knowledge, skills, experience, things that you're good at, what you do at work all day. You don't have to be an expert in it. You just have to have some level of knowledge, skills, and experience. You're going to simply create content on social media, sharing your knowledge, skills, experience with other people. The great thing about social media is that you don't even have to be original. You don't have to be unique. You don't have to have some undiscovered, untapped knowledge, skill, experience. You don't have to have the next, there's a guy on TikTok that discovered how to make gas out of recycled plastic. You don't even have to know how to do that. You can have the same knowledge, skills, and experience, knowledge and skills as other people, but what differentiates you is your experiences, your stories. So for example, you could have, your thing could be Microsoft Excel. You could want to teach people boring, old, stupid Microsoft Excel or math or whatever it is, right? You identify what you are good at, and then you simply share that with other people through social media. That will enable you to connect with people from around the world, and they'll see that you have a skill that they want. There are literally, I think I saw that Microsoft Excel is used by 27 million people globally, right? And there are a bunch of people out there that are at various stages of knowing and understanding Microsoft Excel. And what you can do is you can teach people your skill. Maybe it's Microsoft Excel. If you know a quicker way how to build macros, if you know how to build out tables, and if you're maybe a data analyst, you can show people how to connect data analyst or being a data analyst to Microsoft Excel to make their job easier. People will pay you for it. They'll watch your content, they'll ask you questions, and then they'll buy things like courses. They'll buy things like digital products. Maybe you create a cheat sheet. You could create a little downloadable hotkeys cheat sheet for Microsoft Excel or for Google Sheets, and people will pay you for it all through your content. And that's what I would tell you to do. If you believe that Bingo Clash is going to pay you money, $200 per day, that's what the ad says. That's what I played at the beginning. If you believe that Bingo Clash is going to pay you $200 per day, you have a better chance of doing that with creating content, with creating thousands of mini-me's, talking to people from around the world 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, while you're doing things that you truly enjoy. While you're at work, you could create content that reaches out to people, that engages with people, that connects with people while you're at work, and get paid for it. And there's a number of ways that you can get paid for it. You can get paid for it with getting paid by the platform. So like the YouTube Partner Program, the TikTok Shop, the TikTok Creativity Program. You could create a digital product. Like I mentioned, you could create a cheat sheet. If you are doing something with like Microsoft Excel, you could actually create little planners, budget trackers, budget planners. You can create templates and sell them for a variety of things. If for example, you could create HR templates for little mom and shop companies and sell them. You could actually create a software as a service. Maybe you create an add-on for a Google Sheet or Microsoft Excel, and you could sell subscriptions to that. You could even create memberships where people come to you and they ask, "Hey, I'm really struggling with this type of macro can you create one, and you create it and you put it in a little database that people can access. You can even do one-on-one consulting, and you can connect and do all of this through just social media by sharing your knowledge, skills, and experience. Again, you don't even have to be an expert. You just have to have more knowledge than the person that has the question. If you are very good at research, you could actually not know anything about a topic, do a little bit of research, and help people get to where you are. And by helping people get to where you are, you move forward and you are seen as an expert. So, or at least not an expert, as a person that's knowledgeable. So what I'm saying all of this to say, stay away from games like Bingo Clash. They sell you the dream. They prey on your desperation. That's ultimately what these apps are doing. They're preying on your desperation. $200 for doing little to no work feels stupid easy, stupid simple, right? You're just playing bingo and you're going to make $200. But the reality is you're making these apps rich and you're getting little to nothing. If not worse, you're losing money that you may or may not have. So I'm going to tell you, stay away from these types of apps. They serve you in absolutely no way. And I'm sure there's somebody that's going to come on here and say, well, I made $100 with the app with Bingo Clash. Chances are you're the exception and not the rule. If you made $100, how many more people lost $50 for you to make that $100? That's kind of like the casino analogy. There will be one person that says they made $1,000 gambling at the casino, but how many more people have lost $5,000 gambling at the casino? That's the ultimate question. There's going to be that one outlier, or that person might be lying, quite honestly, because they never really show proof. There's going to be that one outlier that claims they made a bunch of money, but most of the people will lose money trying to make the $200, trying to chase that dream, because $200 is a significant amount of money that could be life-changing. $200 a day is what the ad says. $200 per day, you multiply that by 7. What is that? That is, that's $1,400 in a week. $1,400 times 4, you're looking at what? $5,600 a month. You're making $5,600 a month. Check my math, obviously. $5,600 a month just playing a game. You're looking at over $60,000, closer to $70,000, just by playing games, which is unrealistic, which is unfair to you. Again, these apps are preying on your desperation. They want people that are desperate, that are having a tough time making ends meet, that have more bills than opportunities. But instead, one of the issues that I see people run into is they need cash now. And so, they're kind of always running on that I need cash now hamster wheel. If you can create content for 6 months, that 6 months of working without getting paid has the opportunity to pay you for weeks, months, and even years afterwards. I still have people watching my YouTube videos from 3, 4, 5 years ago on multiple YouTube channels. And so I understand the challenge. I understand the frustration where people need money now, and it's hard to see in the future if you're currently struggling now. But the best use of your time is to not play these types of games. The best use of your time is to create content or do something online that has the opportunity to pay you even while you're not actively working. I made a video a few weeks ago talking about active income versus passive income, and that's something that's really important to understand if you want to eventually get off of the hamster wheel of robbing Peter to pay Paul. So let me know what you think in the comment section. Make sure that you like, comment, follow, share, subscribe, and we will see you in the next video.